Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and just wanted to give you a few thoughts on Thanksgiving. Um, Americans aren't the first one or the only ones to have Thanksgiving traditions. In fact, the Jews had their own harvest traditions and festivals that they would celebrate. And one of these that I found was called the bringing in of the first fruits and tithes. And during this, God instructed them to take the first gleanings of their harvest and they would put it in a basket. And then they would take it down to the priest. And then they would say this certain thing that to the priest. This was kind of what they were supposed to say. They would say, "A wandering Aramean was my father, and he went down into Egypt and sojourned there, and there he became a nation. The Lord heard our voice and saw our affliction, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. And he brought us into this place, a place flowing with milk and honey. And behold, now I bring the first fruit of the ground, which you, O Lord, have given me." And after saying this, they were supposed to bow down and worship the Lord and just be glad and joyful in all the good things that the Lord had provided for them in their house. And this is what they were supposed to do. Now the interesting thing is that after this, they were supposed to take that basket back to their town, and they were supposed to distribute it to the Levite, the sojourner, the fatherless, the widow, and the orphan, so that they may be filled. So it was all the people who were in need. They were supposed to take this offering, present it to the Lord, and then take it back to their village so that they could share it with those who were in need. But the interesting thing is that they were to recite this whole story of their history that God had provided for them, for their ancestors. And sometimes I wonder if we forgot our story, how our harvest festival started, this whole thing of Thanksgiving. And our ancestors came here and they were called pilgrims, and the Native Americans here in the United States provided for them and helped them survive those first winters, or else we might not be here today. And so I was just reflecting on this, and I was just amazed at our indebtedness to these Native Americans who just were generous, and I was inspired by that. And sometimes I wonder if we we reflect on this enough. So now many years later, here we are in this land, and we have so much. We're so blessed. And just like the Israelites, we've come to this place and God has blessed us and we have so much. But I just sometimes wonder if we've forgotten this. So I just want you to take a few minutes and reflect on some things that you're thankful for. No, I'm serious. Go ahead and take a few minutes and reflect on some things you're thankful for. I don't want you to feel guilty for having a great Thanksgiving dinner. In fact, I want you to enjoy it and, like the Israelites, rejoice in all the good that the Lord has given you. But sometimes I think just putting things in perspective helps us to be more thankful. And so, just want you to be thankful for all that God has given you, but don't forget those who are in need. And sometimes that's so easy to do, and I know I do it. But it was just brought to my mind just recently that I need to be paying attention to those things. And so I guess the question is, are you thankful enough to give? After all, it is Thanksgiving.